Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. That is now the last 7 games for the Vancouver Canucks. We're kind of seesawing a little bit here, but at least that's a 4-3 record in the past 7. On Saturday night, the Columbus Blue Jackets came to town to face the Canucks. The Blue Jackets were fresh off a loss to Calgary, which is good for the confidence for us because if they can lose to Calgary, they can lose to anyone. The Canucks lost to Chicago last game, and I don't want to talk about it any further. So we're just going to go right into this game. There wasn't any particularly big story coming into this game besides the fact that Thatcher Demko will be taking a rest weekend. So business as usual today, we still saw Lankinen anyway, but tomorrow it might be Yuri Patera in goal against the Colorado Avalanche, who scored 9 goals tonight. First period came and went. Columbus had a good amount of opportunities in that first period, and Lankinen stood tall to his credit. Made a couple tough saves in there, especially one off of Adam Fantilli. That game could have absolutely gone away from the Canucks early, but he held on. He was an anchor back there. He did well to keep them in it. Before the game, there were some new lines created, more specifically the middle 6, where Jake DeBrusk and Kiefer Sherwood switched lines, and that paid off pretty fast. 5 minutes into the second, Ratu was given a stretch pass, which he did well to slow down, chased it beyond the blue line, and dropped it to Drew O'Connor. Drew O'Connor, I was critical of early in the season, but he's been turning it on now, and he found a streaking Jake DeBrusk, who took the puck but brought it in on Merzlikins and flicked it right over the glove of Merzlikins to make it a 1-0 game for the Canucks. That's his 4th of the season now, which isn't quite as many as you'd want Jake DeBrusk to be at this point, but hopefully this is the start of a good streak for him. Unfortunately, we aren't really allowed to have good things for long, and only a minute later, Columbus came into the zone. After a shot was tipped on net, the rebound came right out to Kirill Marchenko, who's the specific guy on Columbus who you don't want to see have the puck with a wide open net. He buried it with the net coming off of its hinges and made it a 1-1 game immediately after we scored. Then that line wasn't done. With 7 minutes left in the second, they were out there again. The puck was thrown into the middle and bounced around a lot. I still really don't know what happened there, but Dmitry Voronkov put it home, made it a 2-1 game. And the Canucks, after having wasted a 5-minute power play, which I will get into, found themselves down 2-1. Before time in the second period could expire, Quinn Hughes decided to take matters into his own hands. He got the puck along the right side boards in the offensive zone, brought it to the middle, and tried a shot. It rattled around a little bit, and Drew O'Connor was right there, one-on-one with Merzlikins, found the puck, and put it over Merzlikins, made it a tie game yet again. His 2nd point of the night, his 6th point in his past 5 games. We have finally figured out what Drew O'Connor does. 6 minutes into the third, the Canucks were pressuring in the offensive zone. They were holding the puck in there for quite a while, and Elias Pettersson made a drop pass to Tyler Myers coming off the bench. A drop pass that actually worked. Myers did a couple dipsy doodle dangles and got himself right into the slot. It's so fun when Myers does that, the 3 times a year that he decides that he's just suddenly Cale Makar. Anyway, after a backhander by Myers rebounded off of Merzlikins' pad, Connor Garland wasn't properly tied up by the Columbus defender, and he was able to put that home, make it a 3-2 game, give the Canucks the lead. And then Lankinen gave up a softie. Marchenko again, it was a one-timer from the very high slot, and it just leaked through. And I'm not going to come for Lankinen today, because he did play a good game. You definitely want that to be saved, though. 3-3 game, 10 minutes left. It's getting a little bit worrying. You got to get something out of this game. And thankfully, Brock Boeser wanted more than just something. Kiefer Sherwood made a beautiful stretch pass to Boeser, who had a partial breakaway. Columbus defender was closing in on him, but he was still able to get a nice shot off. Merzlikins got it with the glove, but didn't get all of it. Snuck through him, made it a 4-3 game. Brock Boeser's 7th of the year. And on that goal, we also saw Kiefer Sherwood's first assist of the season after 9 goals, and Lucas Reichel's first point as a Vancouver Canuck. Now, Reichel didn't really do a whole lot on the play, but he did enough to get a point. That goal stood to be the winner. There was a lot of stuff happening at the end of the game. Columbus had a power play, then Vancouver had a power play, then Columbus pulled their goalie and made it 5-on-5 with an empty net, and then the Canucks took a penalty. None of it mattered. Nobody scored. The Canucks won. That's what counts. I gotta start off with talking about Elias Pettersson in this game because he had a real whirlwind of a game. It was a roller coaster. First of all, there were multiple times where he had a clear shot on net and decided to make some kind of pass instead of just shooting it. And we saw that last game against Chicago too. He's so hesitant to shoot again. I don't get it. I don't get how his confidence just leaves him. Why? Just shoot the puck. You have such a good shot. And he did eventually take some shots in the third. Someone must have come up to him and been like, dude, shoot the puck. The first time he did it, it was a drop pass while he was on a partial breakaway. And, like, you gotta shoot it. Because, like, look at what Boeser did. He was on a partial breakaway. He shot it. It got through Merzlikins. Do that. The other one he added close to the faceoff dot. Maybe it wasn't the best shot, but it also definitely wasn't the best pass that he made. Because it didn't even go to Evander Kane's stick. It just went into the corner. Shoot it. And then he ended up getting the secondary assist on the 3-2 goal by dropping it to Tyler Myers. That was a time where a drop pass was actually the move. He did well to find Myers, got rewarded for it. And later in the game, he was the hero at the very end. Because he absolutely laid his body on the line in the slot to block the shot that could have gone in. It was a one-timer from a very dangerous zone. Got right in front of it, no fear. I don't know how to feel about Pettersson in this game. Because he got a point, and he had some good defensive plays like that. But he just keeps showing signs of being scared. And he needs to not be that scared player anymore. He has to take shots when he has them. I would very much like to see Pettersson shoot the puck more in the future, especially when the people he's passing to don't have the shot he has. Evander Kane does not have the shot that Elias Pettersson has. So you can give Evander Kane the puck all you want, but we have a better chance to score when it's on your stick in a dangerous spot than when it's on Evander Kane's stick in a dangerous spot. Speaking of Evander Kane, right before the Brock Boeser go-ahead goal, Kane had two glorious opportunities on basically a wide open net that he just couldn't finish. And it happens. It does happen. But another thing about him in this game is I don't feel like I saw him in the defensive zone once. There were so many times where there was a stretch pass made to Evander Kane, who was just in the neutral zone. While the play was happening in the defensive zone, he was just already in the neutral zone somehow. Why was he out there in the last minute? Okay, but moving on to happier things. Drew O'Connor. I can't believe it. I'm so glad that I have made these videos for every game because I have recorded proof of my opinion turning around on Drew O'Connor before he even started scoring. I really thought that the O'Connor-Ratu Sherwood line was looking good even when they weren't producing points. And okay, maybe I'm biased towards Ratu, but I was giving Drew O'Connor credit before these points came in, and now they're rolling in. He seems to not be snake-bitten. He is creating stuff. He's doing a lot better than he did in the first, 7 games this season, which isn't really a hard bar because he was really bad in those. But he's been great recently, and especially with some of our other players not doing their best, Drew O'Connor's currently at his best. I think it was Scott Oak who said on the broadcast that Drew O'Connor's career high in points is 33, and it's a good bet that he'll pass it. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it's a good bet that he'll pass 33. But if he can float around the 30-point range, I think I'm satisfied. He's not going to score 6 points every 5 games, though. This is a good hot streak. I don't expect it to last forever. I'm very happy with what Drew O'Connor's been doing recently, though. And I'm very, very happy with what Ratu's doing recently. He now has 5 points in 5 games. He's been really turning it on offensively, making great plays. Maybe he wasn't as good on faceoffs today, but normally he's good at faceoffs. Can't win them all. Literally. Analytically, Ratu has been one of our best players so far this season. He's been good on the faceoff dot throughout the year, and now he's getting the points trickling in. It was only a matter of time before O'Connor and Ratu got points to go along with their performances. Their chemistry has grown quite fast, and they've played very well no matter who that third person on the line is. I do like Sherwood on that line, but today it worked out with DeBrusque. Those two have found chemistry with whoever, and I think it is a good matchup with Ratu and O'Connor, because O'Connor's a fast guy. He can get into the dirty spots. He's a big body. Ratu is also a big body, maybe not the best skater, but has good hockey IQ. Both of them can hold their own defensively. I like the duo of Drew O'Connor, Ratu. Now, ideally, that is a duo that you have on your fourth line For now, it has to be on the third line because we have so many injuries. If they keep producing like this, though, maybe they should be on the first line. Brock Boeser has come out of the gates quite well so far. He has 10 points in 14 games, including 7 goals. 1 goal every 2 games. You will definitely take that over a full season. Maybe he's not so good defensively still. I think he can be doing more. I want him to get more assists. I want him to be more of a playmaker, but apparently some people can only pass on this team, so someone's got to shoot it. Boeser's doing that right now. He's been doing very well. I'm very glad we still have him. It is worth noting that Elias Pettersson, the defenseman, was caught with a hit up high by Matthew Olivier in the second period, which led to that 5-minute power play for the Canucks. It was a major penalty and game misconduct for Olivier. It was a bad hit. I mean, Olivier's such a... Okay. I'm going to use my big boy words. I'm not going to swear. Olivier is such a... I have no idea how to phrase this without swearing. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't know how to phrase it without swearing. Oh my god. Olivier is a loser. That's such a stupid hit. Like, the play is going the other way. He's already passed it. His back is turned to you. He's in a vulnerable position without knowing that you are arriving. And you put his head into the boards. What a stupid play by Olivier. And that's all he does. That's what he does. He had the year last year where he scored 18 goals, and now he's back to being a bum. Olivier has no purpose in this league anymore other than running the other team's players. I'm hoping that a suspension will come out of this. I'm assuming at least a fine. People will say, oh, don't admire your pass. Pettersson is just watching where the play's going. He's not expecting to get boarded to the head. I really, I'm very surprised that I was able to make it through my thoughts on that without swearing and calling him worse than a loser. I really hope Elias Pettersson is okay. We can't afford more injuries, and it would be really sad to see him go out. Quinn Hughes today was interesting. He looked really energized, but I still feel like he's doing too much. Like, he had those nice moves on Chinakhov towards the end of the game. That really nice spin move that broke Chinakhov's ankles. That was awesome. He's just doing so much, though. Like, sometimes you just need to simplify, make the smart play. Like, he got himself open for those. Those moves worked. They didn't turn into a goal, but they turned into a good opportunity. There were lots of times where he was just trying too hard to take over. I think he can benefit from trusting the team around him more. Now, sometimes the team around him doesn't deserve to be trusted, but I think he just has to. I think he has to trust that the guys around him can create stuff too, and he just needs to give them the puck. It was a good game by him today. I liked the game, but I still think there are things that he needs to work on this season. A lot of our defensemen were animals today. Tom Willander had 3 blocks. Marcus Pettersson had 4 blocks. Tyler Myers had that really nice play resulting in the 3-2 goal. Quinn Hughes had a point where he made a nice play, and Filip Hronek had a block and 5 hits. Elias Pettersson was only able to play 9 minutes and 47 seconds of this one, and I think the rest of the guys stepped up in his absence. I think they did a good job of shutting it down, especially after the first period where Lankinen bailed them out a bunch of times. They definitely made it more calm for Lankinen later in the game, even if that's when the goals came. It was nice to see Reichel finally get on the board, even if he didn't do a whole lot on that play. Maybe this is what he needs to finally break through. I really just cannot wait for when we get to finally utilize him as a winger. I'm so sick of him being a center because he's just not a center. Teddy Bluger was on the ice today during practice in a non-contact jersey, so hopefully that means he's somewhat close to returning. I don't know who can really be a 2C between Bluger, Ratu, and Sasson, sorry. I don't know if they'll keep Reichel in that role. I hope they don't. I don't really know what to do there, but it's not my job to figure it out. I want to see Reichel get some reps as a winger, though. The Abbotsford line has kind of gone a little bit quiet, and they're not playing a whole lot every game. Actually, they're barely playing anything per game. Baines had 6 minutes today, Carlson had 8 minutes, and Sasson had just under 11. So they're not really getting the opportunity. I don't know why we're not playing them more than that. The rest of the lineup isn't, like, insane enough to not play that line. And that line can be good. I don't think they're, like, insane or anything, but they can eat some minutes up. I guess on a day like today where the third line was cooking, you give them more minutes. Drew O'Connor had 15. Ratu only had 12, though. I actually don't know. I don't understand how this ice time was dispersed. Oh, Evander Kane had 20 minutes. That's the problem. That's where everything's going wrong. Evander Kane played 20 minutes of this game. One more thing about this game is the reffing. Because, wow, there were some things that were really wrong with the reffing in this one. The most obvious example I can give is late in the second, Quinn Hughes had what looked to be a sure breakaway. Provorov does not want to see Quinn Hughes on a breakaway, so he puts his stick right around Quinn Hughes, which is called a hook. And when Quinn Hughes doesn't have the puck, that is also called interference. You can really pick your poison on that. The refs picked nothing. No penalty. Which is weird, because that seems like the most obvious penalty of all time, really. And that was weird. I didn't love that. And I didn't love Chinikov at the end of the game after taking that penalty, complaining to the referee, like, your stick was in the feet of Connor Garland. Connor Garland tripped over your stick. What do you expect them to call there? The reffing has been a point of contention in a lot of Canucks games recently. I'm not going to blame them. Obviously, we won today, so it's fine. I don't like blaming the refs, but there are some times where it's calls like these that are just obvious. Like, they're black and white. Obviously, that's a penalty. And it's so hard when a lot of these have been stacked up game by game by game to not mention them. I really try to not talk about the refs. This kind of stuff, though, is bad. Canucks' next game is tonight. Sorry, I'm going to get this out on Sunday. It's late. I'm tired. Playing Colorado, who, as I mentioned before, scored 9 goals against Edmonton, which is really funny, but also scary for us because we're probably starting Yuri Patera. We'll see what they can do tomorrow. Both teams coming off a win. Colorado at least has the travel, so maybe that'll batter them down a little bit. I don't know. They're not really a fun team to match up against. Though we did have some good luck against them last year. Maybe that can continue into this year. Canucks are now 8-8-0. We were 5-5-0, 6-6-0, 7-7-0, and 8-8-0. We are mid. I hope we can finally break free of this pattern tomorrow. Get to 9-8-0. We could still be in that mix. There's such a logjam in the NHL standings right now. It's crazy. Like, going into this game, the Canucks were 29th in the league. But they weren't really that far off of top 10. It's really weird what's been happening. A lot of parity, which is good to see. The Eastern Conference is particularly a mess right now. It's quite funny. Even though their standings position might not look the greatest, they're not in the worst spot of all time. They can get themselves into a better spot. They just need to stack up wins. I said Kiefer Sherwood would score last game. About this game. And that's the time when he decided to get his first assist this season, which is interesting. We're going to go back to Elias Pettersson. I got it right the first time. Maybe I can manifest it a second time. We'll see. It would be funny if I got him right both times after getting everything wrong in between. So Elias Pettersson, I'm hoping that the message will be driven into his brain to shoot the puck more. I'm hoping he will shoot the puck tomorrow, and it will find net. Okay. Goodbye.